Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope that you're all doing really well. Today's video is going to be all about success, and I want to talk to you about the 3 things that I do every single day that really help to keep me focused, motivated, on track, and just happy and energized to go after all of the things that I want to achieve in my life. That does take a little bit of planning and organizing, and definitely a good dose of motivation every single day to get all of those things done. So I want to share these 3 things with you guys that have really helped me, and hopefully they'll really help you guys as well. So whatever it is that you want, maybe your goals are different to my goals, but essentially I think the tools and the routines are all pretty much the same in helping us to get to those points. So my first success tip is to develop a morning routine. Now this has changed my life. My morning routine is all about setting myself up to have an amazing day. So setting myself up mentally, physically, spiritually. I think it's so important to start your day on the right foot with positive intentions, with gratitude, with a full heart, with appreciation for yourself, with your goals in mind, with what you want to achieve. Because I think a lot of people wake up and they're just super stressed and they have to get ready for school or work or just attend to whatever it is that needs their attention. But a lot of the times we lose focus on ourselves and what we want out of life, and then our life can just pass us by, and then we might get to the end of our lives and think, where did my life go? What did I do with all of this time? Like, why have I not gotten all the things that I wanted out of life? So I think there's so much value in starting your day with gratitude and with some reflection on how you want that day to go, and ultimately asking yourself, what kind of person do you want to be today? What is it that you want to achieve? What are some small steps that you can take for that big dream that you have? What things would happen today if I were to make it the most perfect and productive day? Ask yourself these questions every single morning. I can guarantee you that your day will be different than if you were to just roll out of bed, brush your teeth, get on the bus, go to work, go to school, and just kind of like zombie yourself through the day. I know that we all have a goal and a dream and something inside of us that we want to accomplish and achieve, even if it's something as simple as getting healthy and, getting fit and eating better. Or it can be something even bigger, like changing your job or your career, or even attracting a partner in your life to have an amazing relationship. And it is possible, but we need to allow space for that to happen. We need to have reflection, we need to have planning and strategizing, and also just to have that time in the morning to build yourself up. Give yourself a little pep talk if you need it. I think we all need a good pep talk from time to time. And just give yourself that 1 to 2 hours in the morning before the day starts, before people are going to be asking you for things or that you have to be there for other people. Let that be your time to build yourself up, fill your cup up so that it overflows, so that you can give back to people. A lot of you guys know that I like to journal. This is my journal. I have read a little bit from my journal in some previous videos. I will have those linked below if you guys want to see what type of entries I write. But you can be really free and open-minded with your journal. I like to plan in my journal, but I also like to write my reflections, my thoughts, if I have any fears that I'm dealing with. So I highly recommend journaling. I think it's an amazing tool and just a really great way to process your thoughts and to just get them out of your head and down on paper so that you can think more clearly and be more focused. I also like to make exercise a part of my morning routine, not every single day, but a lot of the days out of the week. Sometimes it can be something, very gentle as a walk outside or a soft like yoga class. And sometimes I'll go to the gym and I'll do like a really intense spinning class or body pump class, or just like my own session at the gym. But some type of movement is also really, really good to help you kind of kickstart your day, to get the blood going, the endorphins going. Meditation is also something that I've talked about in some of my previous videos, and that's something that's also really, really helped me the last few months in, again, just staying focused and clear on what it is that I want to do during the day. Because essentially what meditation is, for me anyway, is that you focus your attention on what it is that you want it to focus on. For the most part, thinking and, ideas are a good thing, but sometimes we can get into a negative pattern of thinking that could be very self-destructive, that can then stop us in our tracks of achieving what it is that we want to do. Negative thoughts and limiting thoughts can also talk us out of doing positive things like exercising or working on that thing that you've been wanting to do. So it's also realizing that we are not those thoughts, and those thoughts do not serve us, but we have to have a degree of mindfulness to even recognize that there's things going on in our head that aren't always productive to, our current state of being. So meditation is amazing for that and great for developing mindfulness around, your thoughts, just to develop a degree of space between your thoughts and, ourselves. And along with that, during this time, I always set goals for the day. Those goals can be work related, they can be personal related, they can be health related. I write it all down first thing in the morning so that I know when I'm going through my day, I can refer back to that and I can think, okay, hey, I have some time now, let me go and do that thing, so that I keep my day focused on what it is that I want to do and that I don't drift off and just get my day lost someplace. My second success tip is to feed your mind. So just like our body needs healthy food, water, exercise, sunshine to feel really healthy and strong and fit, so does our mind. Our mind is so powerful, and what our mind believes about ourselves or believes about our current situation or circumstances, that will determine how we live our lives, and that will determine our actions. So if we're in an environment that's quite negative, or around people that are negative, or even around movies and TV shows that have a negative and disruptive message to our bodies and to our brains, that can have a serious toll on how we live our lives and what actions we take during the day. So it's super important to feed your mind, to nourish your mind with positivity, with good books, with good YouTube videos, with good music, with good people, with a positive and happy environment wherever you're working or living, or where you spend a lot of time. It's so important to constantly give yourself positivity and not be delusional about it. If you have to change something in your life, you've got to change it. You have to be honest with yourself, and the morning routine and that reflection is a great moment to do that. But then it's also about making positive change and taking positive action to actually change something in your life. This is something that I made a really conscious effort to change in the beginning of summer, so in June, when I started doing all of these things, and I was really strict on this particular point. So what it was that I allowed to enter into my mind. So I really had a very hard look at what YouTube channels I was subscribed to, what TV shows that we were watching in the evening, to even some of the people that I was spending time with, and all the free time that I had. So when I was cooking or driving or doing laundry or any mundane task that I could, focus on something else as well, I was listening to audiobooks. The book that I just finished listening to is The Magic of Thinking Big by David Schwartz, and this is a classic in the self-development realm of books, and it's super powerful. It's all about thinking big to live big, and it's not just about thinking, it's also about action, and that's what I like that this book also emphasizes a lot on, and it gives you real life examples, real things that you can do in your everyday life to change your mindset from thinking small to thinking big and then achieving big. It all really does start from within and how we see ourselves and what we think we deserve from life. There are lots of great takeaways and really good points in the book, but I've written down 3 that I quickly just want to go over. Something that this book focuses a lot on is the power of belief, and if you believe that you can do something, your mind and your brain will attract ways on how to make that happen. And on the contrary, if you don't believe that you can do something, then your mind and your brain will come up with reasons and excuses on why that is true. So there's actually a quote from Henry Ford. It goes, "The man who says he can and the man who says he cannot are usually both right." It's a very simple idea, but it has a lot of power to it. And the reason that belief is so important is that it gives you the power and the energy and the drive to go and take that action to do the next step. So it's not just about positive thinking and just thinking yourself happy, although that does have a powerful effect, but it's also about the doing. And I like that he also focuses a lot on that. I also like that he talks a lot about cure yourself of excusitis. He talks about how we can come up with excuses for literally anything and everything that we don't want to do. But at the end of the day, the cure for excusitis, or the cure for not thinking that you can't do something, is to do it. And it is to take immediate action on whatever goal or project or thing that you want to achieve. Taking that first step is so vital. And once you take that first step, you'll get another step and another step, and you'll start developing some momentum. And this concept is something that really hits home for me, because I feel like the last few months have been such an amazing and positive improvement in my life, because I've committed myself and I've dedicated myself creating 2 videos per week for you guys that really mean a lot to me. I don't just film a video, film anything and just put it out there. Every single video that I do, I put a lot of thought into, a lot of energy, and I want it to be really good for you guys. And I also want it to be a really true reflection of who I am, and that it makes me happy as well. And doing that does take planning and me being focused and me being inspired and motivated. But having that momentum and understanding the power of doing and creating, even if it's not perfect, even if you have fears of, what people might think of you, fear of judgment, or that people might not understand you. I think we all have those thoughts, but it's about stepping aside from that and still going after what it is that you want to do, because at the end of the day, you just have yourself, and you have to go to bed with yourself at night. And when I go to bed at night, I want to feel exhausted from the day, but a good exhausted. I gave my all, I did my best, I put myself out there, and I was bigger than any limiting thoughts that I might have had, or any comments from judgmental people, or whatever it is. You have to be bigger than that. And I think that action and having that momentum is so powerful. And the third point that I really like that he talks a lot about is not seeing things for how they are, but seeing things for how they can be. So not just looking at your current circumstances, but really envisioning an amazing life for yourself. And it's a book that I would highly recommend wherever you are in your life, at whatever point, if you're younger, if you're older, whether you're an entrepreneur or a stay-at-home mom or a student, or just anyone who wants to get more out of life and just to generally be more successful in every single aspect of your life. I think this book is a must read, and it's given me so much motivation. And as I mentioned, I have been listening to this book, so I've been listening to the audio version on my Audible app on my phone, and I would highly recommend it. It's a really easy book to listen to. And if you are interested in this book and you also want to listen to it, which I would highly recommend, you can download it for free using my link, which is audible.com/AnnieJaffrey. Or if you're in the US, you could also text AnnieJaffrey to 500 and that will get you a free audiobook. So you could get this book, or you could get any other book that you might be interested in. They have tons of different books on their website, and I've even gotten Mo onto it as well. He's now listening to Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, which is another classic, but he's really loving it as well. He's listening to it in German, so they do have Audible in different languages if you're more comfortable, in a different language. But yes, I absolutely love Audible, and they are working with me on this video, which is super exciting because I literally use the app every single day. As I mentioned, when I'm driving the car, when I'm doing my makeup, when I'm cleaning or organizing my apartment, which I do quite often. But it's such a good way to instill positivity and to just feed your mind lots of goodness. If you guys have already read The Magic of Thinking Big and you want some of my other suggestions, just check the description box down below, and I'm going to leave some of my other favorite audiobooks on there, and also some of the ones that are on my wish list and that I want to listen to. So yeah, just check down below. My third big tip for success is to have a goal and have a vision of what it is that you want in your life. So if you take a moment and you close your eyes and you envision the most beautiful and the most perfect life that you could ever imagine, what does that look like? Now, obviously life is not perfect, but it's important to have some type of standard or some type of goal that you can aspire to, and something that you can keep reaching towards and working towards, so that you remind yourself of your value and that you don't sell yourself short and just settle for anything that life will throw at you. You have to decide what it is that you want out of your life. And this kind of goes back to what the book talks about, which is something that I love, which is to see things how they can be and not just how they currently are. So maybe you're stuck in a relationship that you're not happy with. I've been there. Maybe you're not happy with your health and how you're eating and the lack of exercise that you're doing. I've also been there. So make a list and write down what you see for yourself, what goals you have, what your perfect life would look like, even what your perfect day would look like. Just write it all down, and now make another list and write down where you currently are and what your current habits are, and where you're spending a lot of your time, maybe what you're eating, who you're surrounding yourself with, what your job is, and then look at both of these two lists and think to yourself, okay, how can I get from A to B? What can I do every single day that will help to get me closer to this list, which is like the ultimate list? Now, you might not get there 100%, and that's okay. We should reach and like shoot really high, and then we'll get closer to that, as opposed to if we just didn't reach at all and we just kind of stay mediocre. So dream big, reach high, set the bar high, and then every single day do something that will get you closer to that point. And having consistency and some form of discipline around that is really important as well. There's a quote that says, discipline is the gateway to freedom, and I highly, highly agree with that. We sometimes think that discipline is like a negative thing where, our parents would maybe discipline us or our teachers would discipline us, but if we do it for ourselves and we understand the reason behind why it is that we're doing what we're doing, it can actually give us so much freedom in the sense that we do the things that we choose that we want to do, not that our lazy mind wants to do. Because at the end of the day, I don't think anyone really wants to get up at 5 in the morning. I don't think anyone ever really feels like it. Even when it comes to working out, if you're feeling a bit sluggish or a bit tired, we sometimes do need that kick in the butt to actually get up and go and do something really positive for ourselves. Within that discipline, within that consistency is beauty. So essentially, without discipline and without goals, you're pretty much leaving your life to chance, and that doesn't sound like a way to live life. I want to be able to choose the way that I live life. I want to choose the way that I am as a person. I want to choose to be a good person, a happy person, a productive person, somebody who adds value and life to this world, and to ultimately just live out the most amazing possible life that I can live, because I only get one life. And that thought is so motivating to me, and knowing that I'm not going to be here forever. So the thought that I sometimes refer back to is, in 100 years I will no longer be here. 100 years sounds like a long time, but it's also a really, really short time. It's actually less than 100 years, and that just eliminates the fear for me. That just makes me want to go and do and be all the things that I want to be. So those are my top 3 tips for success. These are the things that have really helped me the last few months, that I have seen actual positive change and positive results when applying these things to my life, and I really hope that they're going to do the same for you guys. And I would love to hear from you. Do you already do any of these things that I mentioned in this video? Do you wake up early? Do you have a self-empowering morning routine? Do you listen to audiobooks or positive uplifting videos on YouTube? And do you have goals and a vision for your life that you are actively working towards? I would love to know below in the comments. I love the topic of self-development, and I think it's so crucial and so important, especially in today's world. We have to start talking about it and applying these things in our life, because if you believe in yourself, you can do anything. Self-belief and self-love, those are the 2 things that are going to get you through life. Those are the 2 things that are going to allow you to achieve anything and everything that you want in every single area of your life, and that will ultimately allow us to live out our fullest potential, and then to feel happiness. But more so than just happiness, it's to feel freedom. Freedom from society, freedom from even our own minds and sometimes our negative thinking. When we understand how the mind works and how we can work in collaboration with our mind and use our mind to our positive advantage, I think that's when life really starts to change. So I love this topic. I love talking about it. I would love to hear from you guys if you've also made a really positive change in your life using some of these techniques, or what maybe you've done to improve your life. I would love to hear your thoughts on this down below in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're all having an amazing day, and I will see you guys in my next video.